Whoa! It's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. All right, man. I went and ran into my buddy Alan, who's one of the original people from this continent that we call North America. And I hadn't talked to him in a while. And he was talking because we'd done some interviews about making a video about the original people here in North America. And I don't know, we kind of lost track of it. So he came back to me and wanted to talk about it. And I was telling him about what was going on with Google and how annoyed I was. And he was like, dude, got to keep making videos and doing your thing. Can't let the man win. Yeah, and that's where the weird thing is man, like, all right, the man's got no control over me. Screw the man, right? I can do anything I want, man. I don't really like their whole censorship thing, but screw them. So, to get back in the flow, forget all the seriousness and all the consciousness and all the nonsense, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a crazy story when I saw the time traveler assassin on the Golden Gate Bridge. All right. It is, I think it's spring break 1993. I'm on the road. I'm spring break from Northern Arizona University. I come home. I get my mom's Saab. I grab my buddy Bobby Keith, and I'm with my girlfriend at the time. We drive up to San Francisco. Bobby turns us on to Ween. We're listening to God, Ween, Satan the entire road trip till the tape breaks on the way home. So we go up north. We're jamming up to San Francisco. We're skateboarding the whole time. I think we stop in Palo Alto and we skate some half pipes there for a bit. And we're going to stay with a friend of ours who lives up on the Mission. I forget who it was. Who lived on the Mission back then? Anyway, we go up there. But my girlfriend and I at the time, we have some dancing test tube acid, man. And it's some really good acid. So we go up to San Francisco. And my buddy Bobby goes off and does his thing. And me and my girlfriend, we drop the dancing test tube acid. And in San Francisco, it's all mass transit. So we leave the car over in the Mission District and we go over to like Golden Gate Park, man. And we're coming on, we're eating all the acid, and we're walking around down on the beach down there. And I look over at the Golden Gate Bridge, man. And the Golden Gate Bridge is, one of the suspension bridge. But it's flapping. It's flapping like this, and it's spinning, dude. And there's a vortex coming out of the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge where it's flapping. It's literally flapping like two wings, and it's spinning. And I'm like, we need to go up there. There's the vortex out in the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge, right? And my girlfriend sees it, and we're tripping balls, and we walk, and we gotta walk. It takes a while to get up there. You gotta go up about, Fort Point and the whole thing, and climb up the hill. And we get onto the Golden Gate Bridge, right? Now you have to understand, I'm totally afraid of heights. I don't dig heights, and I really don't dig bridges. I have a weird phobia about bridges in earthquake zones. Because if you know the Bay Series quake, that giant panel fell on the Bay Bridge and that car was dangling over the edge. And I'm just not down for that kind of... I'm just not down for bridges in earthquake zones over water. They give me the creeps, dude. So, anyway, we get up to the bridge. And if you've been on the Golden Gate Bridge, man, there's a freeway going over the bridge, and there's a little walkway. And the walkway has a railing over to the drink that's like this high, right? It's this high. You could like jump over the thing, no problem. But on the other side of the bridge where the traffic is, there's like a crack, a channel where the sidewalk is, and you can look down and see the bay. You can see water, 700 feet down or something. Now, my girlfriend at the time, she's horrified about the traffic. And me, I'm horrified about the railing. And the railing's got a gap on the bottom where if you dropped your skateboard, it would shoot into the water and be gone. So I'm not digging the thing. So we're walking. I'm on the traffic side. She's on the railing side. But we're so tripping and sketched out that we're walking holding hands, but we're pulling on each other, right? Like we're leaning away from each of the things we fear the most, right? And it's one of those where if we had let go of our hands, she would have gone off the bridge into the water and I would have flown into the highway. So we're tripping balls, we're cruising, there's nobody on the bridge at all. And there's the God clouds are like blowing across the bridge. It's not foggy and it's not cloudy, but there's these big cotton balls of like clouds going over the bridge and it's getting all trippy. So we're walking out on the bridge, right? And all of a sudden, I'm like, you can see the vortex off in the middle of the bridge. And I'm like, dude, this isn't cool. And all of a sudden, there's these 3 Asian photographer dudes, like 100 yards up, man. And they're just sitting there with their cameras, but they're not really taking pictures. They're just hanging out with their cameras. And all of a sudden, we're walking, and out of the fog, like, dude, like 1 minute you can see across the whole bridge, and there's no one except these 3 Asian photographers. And then the fog comes, and out of the fog, I kid you not, comes Rutger Hauer from The Hitcher. If you haven't seen The Hitcher, go watch The Hitcher, and you'll know the dude I'm talking about. This dude comes out, he's got a trench coat on, he's a giant, like, Aryan assassin. And he comes just charging fully out of the fog like the cop in Terminator. Just and we're walking and I'm like, I'm not going out there. We're stuck on the bridge and my chick's tripping out. I'm tripping out. I go, I'm not going out there on the bridge. That dude's coming to throw us off the bridge. And she's like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm like, that dude's coming to kill us, dude. And she's like, we're throwing balls. She's like, what are you talking? I go, the 3 Asian photographers are there to get pictures of us to take it back to the time commander or whoever it is in charge to get the photos that he's thrown us off the bridge because we're going to the vortex where the time machine is. And dude, I know it to this day. That's what that dude was there to do. He was there to throw us off the bridge because we had figured out how to get into the time portal thing. And it involved this crazy dancing test tube acid and the Golden Gate Bridge. And it was on, and we were heading there, and then Rutger Hauer, the time assassin, came out of the fog, and he walked through it. And so I look at the girl I'm with, and I'm like, I'm not joking. This guy is coming to kill us. Run! And so we take off running full speed off of the Golden Gate Bridge, like running full speed. We get down, they climb down the hill, down to Fort Point. We're back down on the beach. We're walking, we're tripping. We're cruising and we're looking back at the Golden Gate Bridge every now and then, and it's flapping, and the thing's spinning, and the vortex is shooting the lights out and the whole nine. And we're like, dude, and we're talking about the assassin trying to kill us, and we're like, you know, almost kind of having a bad trip, dude. But all of a sudden we're walking, and on the sand, someone has drawn a picture with a stick. This is too great. Of a dog, like a dog, humping a super hot chick, doggy style, and sticking his nose in another chick's crotch. Now this is all drawn in sand, like artwork. right? And me and my girl are sitting there like laughing hysterically, like, what is that? Is the craziest thing you could see drawn on the beach. But no sooner do we realize what it is, because at first we're trying to figure out what the lines are, because we're tripping and we're just like, whoa, look at the lines. And then we see what the picture really is, and we're laughing, and all of a sudden the ocean comes and just washes it away. Gone, just like that. We're like, what? And we look back at the bridge, and the bridge is flapping and spinning, and lights are shooting out of it. So we're now sitting in these sand dunes down there. There's sand dunes down there. And it's right where everyone's jogging. There's all these joggers that jog around the Presidio and the park and whatever it is. I forget the name of the park. Anyway, we're sitting there and we're tripping balls. And who comes jogging along? I don't need to make these things up, but Robin Williams. Robin Williams is jogging with everybody else in the line, and we're like, dude, that's Robin Williams. And my girlfriend's like, it is Robin Williams. And we're like, Robin Williams! And he's waving, jogging and waving, and we're tripping and yelling Robin Williams. And so we get back, we make it back to the place we're staying on the mission. Safe and sound. Oh, wait, there's one other part I forget. So now it's dark, and we're walking through the South Beach there. We're up by the bookstore there. You know, the Beatnik bookstore there. City Lights or whatever it's called. And we're sitting there, man, and all of a sudden we hear the loudest, craziest. The city's like deserted for some reason. I don't know why. It's just deserted, and we're standing on, tripping in this downtown San Francisco, and all of a sudden we hear the loudest rumble you've ever heard, and we're like, wow, they just don't stop, dude. And dude, out through the city streets of downtown, echoing through this, making one of the loudest sounds I've ever heard, is like 100 Hell's Angels on their Harley Davidsons through the city, just shaking and rattling everything, and we're sitting there just like, this is rad, man. So I don't know, that was just cool. So we get back home, and the more and more I understand about how crazy the universe is, multidimensional beings are, aliens, governments, time travel, psychedelic drugs, spirituality, the more and more I know that dude was there to throw us off the bridge. I have no doubt in my soul. Like that dude, if you had seen this guy just beelining it out of the fog for us, dude, you would have known what I'm talking about. But anyway, I think it's the same. Why I tell the story and why I brought this up is this is the same type of nonsense that Google and the government and NSA is trying to do. Dude, we have the power. We are so gnarly as beings. We can do anything we want. But they are guarding the portals. They are protecting the portals. But we can get by them because they are just three-dimensional creatures. They do not have our crazy powers. And we have to start utilizing our powers. We have to realize how just ultimately powerful we are. But we can't blow our loads early, dude, or we'll get thrown off the bridge. I guess that's what I'm saying, is if my internal compass wasn't like in the midst of a dancing test tube psychedelic experience, like, bro, that's a time-traveling assassin coming to kill us because we found the portal, I wouldn't be here to tell the story. I don't really know about what's going on out here on Spaceship Earth, but it's time, man. There is no more time left to bullshit around with these people, these monkeys with their cell phones, man. Anyway, it's the illusion. Just one final Google, suck a bag of dicks. I think I'm just going to end my YouTubes on that. Google suck a bag of dicks for a while. Makes me happy.